Wid Yi.
Would you? You sound like you're doing the Doctor Who theme.
Why is that the Doctor Who doesn't go?
Okay, so how does Doctor Who
Doctor
go?
Who. No, that's Going for Gold.
Oh, with Henry Kelly.
That's the one.
Hello there, I'm Henry Kelly. We're going for gold.
I'm Henry Sellers.
No, Henry Kelly.
We're going for gold.
What else was Henry Kelly ever known for apart from a really terrible 90s game show?
I think it was an 80s game show, was it not?
90s. It was My
sure?
School Holidays, yeah, 100%.
Alright, okay.
I mean, it looked like it was made in the 80s. It was clearly whatever the BBC had budget left over to make.
It was really, really cheap. It wasn't just buzzers, it was like incorrect. It was like real cheesy, cheap shit.
Didn't they basically like get a bunch of tourists into a studio and it's like, what country are you from? We're from Wales. We're like, yeah, that's foreign. Great.
Yeah, that'll do.
Come in. Where are you from? I'm from Glasgow. Definitely foreign in your company. Where are you from? France. Oh, never heard of it.
Do you want to know? I miss the Krypton Factor.
Oh, that was so good.
That was that was Monday nights, I think it was.
It was. I love the fact they had the obstacle course.
And then it was an airport
the flight simulator. Yeah. Why can't we have simple game shows like that again? It's brilliant.
This was back in the days when your weekly game show, not daily, was half an hour long.
And it had Gordon Burns presenting it.
That's right, Gordon Burns. And they tried to bring it back with Ben Shepherd.
Did they?
They did. It was about 10 years ago or something.
Why would you do that?
Well, I didn't watch it.
I didn't even know they did it. That's how bad it was.
It was pretty bad, to be honest with you. But they stretched out to an hour, and you think, I don't really want to know much about the guy that's, I'm here with my family. I'm doing it because I'm going to take my family to Florida or something like that. I don't care. You didn't get that in the original show. It was just, there's 4 people. Make a shape out of these shapes. You've made the shape. Well done. Go and get muddy in an assault course. Right, land a plane. Right, stick a tennis ball up your bum and see how far you can shoot it across. Done. The Krypton Factor.
You've missed the critical point in that. When they made the shape, did it not light up?
Oh yes, it lit up. Yes, yeah. And sometimes you had to make a pink shape and sometimes you had to make a blue shape. This was
cutting edge.
Cutting edge of the 80s.
Thing is as well, right? In the name, it's the Krypton Factor.
Yep.
It's not the X Factor. I don't want fucking Stobsters about, I'm going to do the flight simulator because my nephew, he stepped on a nail last year and then the cat clawed him and it turns out the cat was septic and he lost all his arms and his legs and now, he'll never fly a flight simulator. So, Kevin, I know it's emotional, but, mate, I'm going to fucking crash land that digital plane for you, mate. I'm fucking doing it for you, man. I don't give a fuck. I just want to see somebody try and land that plane and make the big colourful thing light up.
I'm actually looking at plane. It was like one of those fairground simulated sort of roller coaster rides they had back in the 80s. That looked amazing.
Yeah.
Now it's just commonplace. You've got them in every fairground and you've got them at every circus or whatever. Folk thinking, I've got my fancy van thing here. It really does look like a transit van or an axle. That's what it looks like.
Hey, nothing wrong with transit vans.
Oh, I like a transit van. So I'll tell you, I was in the pub telling my mate, that old, what do you do when an epileptic's having a fit in a bath joke?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and what's the punchline? You chuck your washing in. No, that joke. Alright, okay, it's an old joke anyway. So I was telling my mate that joke and it was absolute hilarity. Ha 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 ha. Until I was tapped in the shoulder by an angry eavesdropper. Excuse me, my brother died in a bath while having an epileptic fit, I'll have you know. I'll be honest, the ground could have swallowed me up and I said, mate, I'm so sorry, I meant nothing by it. Did he drown? He said, no, he choked in a sock.
Wid Yi.
You know what's funny about the Krypton Factor? Apart from the fact I genuinely probably haven't watched it since it came out. Gordon Burns, he looks like a footballer. When you look at pictures of him, right, tell me this does not look like somebody who represented Celtic in 1965.
He looks like the fifth Beatle.
He's probably the original drummer. He was Northern Irish. He still is. I mean, he's 82.
Did he change that? Is it some sort of like nationality, like changing religion?
No, for some reason...
I don't feel Northern Irish anymore. I think I'm going to be Scandinavian from now on.
No, what I mean by that is, I thought Gordon Burns, maybe it's a name thing, I thought he was Scottish. I had it in my head all these years. Oh yeah, Gordon Burns must have been from Auchenshoggle.
Do you want to know? I haven't actually given it that much thought. I was only about 5 when the Krypton Factor was out.
I would have been a couple of years older than you, but yeah, I just seem to remember thinking, wow, that guy's great, and he's Scottish as well. And look, he must be able to land the planes because now he's making everyone else do it.
I'd like to see him do that, it was like the last episode of Gladiators where they got gladiators fighting gladiators on the gladiator games and it turned out Hunter was the best gladiator of them all. But could you get Gordon Burns to do all the shit that they made everyone do in the Krypton Factor.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I just
get
assumed...
him on the army assault course and get him landing the plane.
I mean, he's not going to do it now, bless him. He's 82. He might be able to land the plane, the assault course. Yeah, maybe. I've clearly given this a lot of thought in the last couple of minutes.
Right.
You know who I think would be brilliant to reboot the Krypton Factor and
You
to host
can't reboot the Krypton Factor.
Well, you can. You turn it off and turn it on again.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
You know who I think would be amazing?
Right, go on then.
Mr. Motivator, because, he'd be like, right, we're going to clap, and we're going to do this, and we're going to stretch our calves, and then we're going to do the military course. And you'd actually be ready for it.
Do you want to know, if he's saying, I'm going to do the military course, does that mean we've all got to do it in spandex?
Like in neon colours.
Spandex and bandanas.
Or a baseball cap at a jaunty angle. Have you watched him, right? He still does stuff on YouTube. He still does exercise classes.
I got a DVD, Mr. Motivator's Bum Workout, many years ago for my birthday from a mate, and I've still not watched it.
It does explain a lot. Yeah.
Right, I'll top that. Who is good at hosting game shows that has hosted a lot of rebooted game shows in the last 5 years, and he's actually good at it?
Is he recently unemployed?
I haven't seen him in anything for a while, so no.
Jeremy Clarkson?
No.
Ooh.
Dara O'Brien.
Well, I mean, he is recently unemployed.
Is he?
Yeah, they don't make Mock the Week no more. They cancelled
No, they don't make
that.
Mock the Week, no, but he brought back Blockbusters. He brought back Robot Wars as well.
So he did.
Yeah.
By the way, I should probably apologise. You farted last week. That was a very feeble attempt at a burp. Yours was like a solid 11 out of 10. Mine was like a... Dara O'Brien. I think he'd be good.
I think he'd be really... Because he'd be good at all the puzzle shit. Because he's got like an IQ of like 300 or something like that. He's a clever bloke.
He makes Richard Osman look like the village idiot. I mean, Richard Osman's a clever guy and Dara O'Brien somehow outshines him. And Dara O'Brien doesn't come across as a smug fuck either.
But he's fucking clever though.
Oh, he really is.
Do you know, I miss that show, Dara O'Brien Does 8-Bit or whatever it was called.
Yeah, they did that for a couple of series.
2 or 3 series. It was like people playing computer games against each other, retro games. It was fucking good. Like.
It really was. We should bring that back. But first things first, we're going to try and bring back the Krypton Factor.
With Dara O'Brien.
Or someone of your choosing in the comments below.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments below who else could possibly bring the Krypton Factor back.
Wid Yi.
I genuinely think now we need to get him to do the Krypton Factor.
Dara O'Brien?
Yeah.
See, I told you, he's better than Mr. Motivator.
Seed.
Now, if Dara O'Brien was to do a celebrity edition of the Krypton
with
Factor...
Mr. Motivator.
With Mr. Motivator as a contestant...
Against Mr. Blobby.
The Wolfman.
Is he called Mr. Wolfman? There's a running theme here. Mr. Bean. Mr. Blobby.
You're going for that.
Mr. Motivator.
I'm going for like 90s celebrities of keep fitness. You know, so I'm thinking Mr. Motivator, A.N. Other Gladiator, and Linford Christie.
So yeah, the idea behind this now very much is let's bring back a 90s TV show with someone we forgot about from the 1990s.
I don't see a problem with this.
I think it's a great idea. Let us know below who you would have as the host of the Krypton Factor and see if it's any better than Dara O'Brien. I don't think it will be.
I challenge you.
Game on.
Am I getting a Wid Yi then or what?
Yeah, I think we should. Right.
Go on.
Wid Yi, recreate Punch and Judy.
Speaking of 90s celebrities.
With a floppy dildo in a public park for £300.
Wait. One floppy dildo. So is the floppy dildo going to be called Punch or Judy?
I think it's going to be called Judy. It says dildos, plural.
Right, okay. You just said dildo.
No, I said dildos. So
okay.
Wid Yi, recreate Punch and Judy with floppy dildos in a public park for £300.
Better idea. I'll do a Punch and Judy show. But instead of a string of sausages, Mr. Punch is battering Judy with a dildo. I think that'd be quite fun.
That's kind of what this is hinting at.
Oh, I thought it was actual dildos with the puppets.
Well, maybe that as well.
Just put googly eyes and a couple of dildos and as they're flopping about, I'm Mr. Punch, I'm Judy. And then you've got a crocodile that comes out and it's made of like a butt plug or a pocket ass or something, I don't know.
You're giving this far too much thought.
How? What's the monetary value of this again?
£300.
Oh, it's a bargain. I'd do that.
Wid Yi.
22 episodes in.
How?
We have an observation.
Oh.
This goes back, if I remember rightly, this goes back to episodes, I'm going to say 11.
Wow.
Right.
The exact halfway mark.
Yeah.
Dave, you thought it was really impressive that you have got over 2,000 DVDs, and you also thought it was really impressive that you sat up all night and counted every single one of them. I've got 2 points for you.
Oh, aye.
Point number 1, when did you last get your haul? Point 2 is that for somebody like yourself, Dave, who feels very passionately that physical media trumps streaming, why are you still on DVDs? They're as obsolete as VHS. You and your 460 pixels. Like, what's the point? Get on the Blu-rays, man.
Can I be honest with you? When he says,
Yeah.
get with the Blu-rays, that collection does actually count Blu-rays.
Right.
See, I used to buy DVDs, and then when Blu-rays came out, I bought Blu-rays, so that's 2 fingers there. Secondly, the last time I got my hole, see when you take a DVD out the case,
Yes.
there's a little hole in the middle there?
no.
So if it's a really crap DVD, I'll shag it. Do you want to know? See if you stick your tongue through the middle of a DVD, it kind of looks like a nipple.
I can't say I've ever tried that.
Well, go home, take your DVD out, stick your tongue in the middle, look in the mirror and go, okay, it does look like a nipple. So there you go.
Mine are all in the loft, and I really can't be bothered going and getting them.
And can I be honest with you? See, when you shag a VHS, you end up getting like tape cuts.
How does it work with Betamax? I mean, they're top loading, aren't they?
Son of a Betamax.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, thank you for that, Lachlan. A good observation.
Yeah.
It does show you how far behind Lachlan is. We're on episode 22.
He's just commented on episode 11.
Yeah, you need to kind of get with the programme, mate. But thank you for sending that in. If you have observations, if you want to pick us up on anything we've said, that's fine. You can hit us up in the comments below. Remember, you can do your WhatsApp, your widget as well, and we will get one of them a little bit later on.
Yeah.
I want to keep the surprise.
So, I'll tell you what's going on in my head at the moment. Going back to pointing shit out, I remember when I lived in my old flat.
I had many drunken escapades in that
Yes, you
flat.
did. But paper-thin walls, you could hear the neighbours were up to, and you can hear the downstairs neighbour. Well, downstairs, how's this for a bromance for you? My downstairs neighbour, I heard sexual moans from his flat one night. This is before I met my other half and all that. But he was on the job with his lucky pool of the night. So in my best Mortal Kombat impression, I shouted the words, "Finish her!" Silence. So I rolled over and went back to sleep, but 20 minutes later, what does he shout up at the back? "Round 2, fight!"
As long as you didn't shout, "Whoopsie!"
No, that was me. Whoopsie!
Oh, God. Right, should we do it,
Talking of throwbacks, that was just a little thing. I thought, I remember when I did that.
Oh, man. Right, should we do it, you?
Let's do it, would you?
Let me get
you want
one.
to do one? Or?
Yeah, I think I think we
you
should probably
do your
one.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you rather get a hand job from Freddy Krueger?
Oh, right.
Oh, God, this is a tough one.
Right.
Your alternative to that is shagging the chick from the film Teeth.
Ooh.
Now, that's an interesting
Ooh,
one.
right.
So Freddy Krueger giving you a hand job, or you're going into the no-no region of somebody with teeth downstairs.
Yeah, and if I haven't seen that film in about 20 years, right? Is that the one where you shag this amazing chick who's as horny as hell, you stick your dick in her, and then the teeth in her fanny bite off your wang, and that's the whole film?
That's why it's called Teeth?
It's kind of on the verge of Human Centipede, really, of bizarreness, is it? I mean, a fanny with teeth.
I think the Human Centipede.
Why not just stick like a pair of plastic Dracula fans in her minge and just hope to see what happens there?
I suspect the Human Centipede, as gruesome as it is a happier ending than Teeth. I mean, it's a close one.
Happier ending. Did they not all die at the end of the Human Centipede?
I mean, you'd think they probably did, but you're going to die by the time all that blood pours out, aren't you?
I don't think it's blood that you had to worry about, to be honest with you. You know, I think it was poo.
Well, no, I was on about with teeth.
Oh, I was on about the Human Centipede. They ate poo, they choked on poo. The end. That's
Thank you for explaining the premise of a film where some mad fucking scientist
sews 3 people ass to mouth.
Yes. And then, was there not like a human giant pedo, whatever they're called?
I don't know.
When he tried to do like 100 people ass to mouth.
Was it not? The second one was like 10 people ass to mouth.
I mean,
and then you had the third one that was like 500 people ass to mouth.
I mean, by this
I've only
point,
ever seen the first one.
I haven't even bothered watching that. By this point in the franchise, surely to hell, this idea that you're sewing people together, it's kind of run its course. What else can you do? Right, well, I tell you what, I'm going to take them to the zoo.
The Human Centipede Part 4, we're going to sew 1,000 people ass to mouth, and an elephant, and a tiger, and a penguin.
And we'll see if we can sneak them on the bus into town on one ticket.
See previous episodes, can you? One please, and in comes this massive array of people sewing ass to mouth.
20 minutes later, the bus finally pulls away from the bus stop.
I would hate to see how people manage to sit down in this thing, you know? How do you sit down if you're sewing ass to mouth in a bus?
In fairness, I don't think that's the biggest of their problems.
Well, more to the point, if you're in a Human Centipede, why would you think, I'm going to get the bus into town? No, you're kind of thinking,
on the subject of really grotesque films, I forget who's in it. It's the guy that was in Die Hard 4. Justin...
Oh, Justin Long. What's
That's
his name?
the one.
Yeah.
Justin Long, yeah. He was in a really grotesque Kevin Smith film called Tusk, which was right up the street of the Human Centipede.
Okay.
So this guy has an obsession with walruses, or walrus,
Walrye. Walrye.
And he basically turns Justin Long into a human walrus. He like cuts his legs off, puts them in his gob, sews his face a bit wider. And by the end of this film, this poor guy's so disfigured. He's in this sort of pelt.
I hate to tell you, I don't think it's real.
Oh, no, obviously. I did kind of work that one out for myself. But like, the film again, it's up there. And it's like, Kevin Smith's this guy who's an obsession with films set in shopping malls.
It's Jane Silent Bob and
dick and fart jokes, bit of weeds.
You sure it's the same guy?
Yeah, 100%. I would say Google Kevin Smith Tusk, but yeah.
You know, I will maybe look. I've never heard of this film, so I'm going to look for it and I'll watch it and I'll let you know.
Will we have a review of Tusk next week?
Maybe have a review of Tusk.
And we'll see if I even got Justin Long's name right. Or more to the point, if you
I'm sure
did.
we do.
Yeah. Right, come on then. Would you rather get a hand job from Freddy Krueger or shag the chick from the film Teeth who has teeth downstairs where you shouldn't have teeth?
Right, I've already thought of an answer. And there's a way around both.
Okay.
Freddy Krueger giving me a hand job, right?
Yeah.
With his knifey hand. What about his other hand?
Are you thinking he's ambidextrous?
There's only one way to find out. But hang on, what's the monetary value of this? Is there a monetary value or is it just
no,
a widget?
it's a would you rather.
So the third option's always gunpoint in these things. So you're going to die. If you want to live, you've got to have a hand job from Freddy Krueger or shag the chick out of... Teeth, yeah.
With certain loss of cock.
Yeah, but if you get a hand job from Freddy Krueger, there's also a certain loss of cock. But if he uses his non-gloved hand, problem solved. Or if you've got the chick from Teeth, does door number 2 have teeth?
I don't know.
Yeah, so there you go, there's a way around it.
You've just hacked a widget.
Way! So the answer is...
C.
Yeah, I've just fucked up the widget.
Wid Yi. Dark.
I mean, yeah, it is. It's perpetual darkness outside at the moment, and this is the thing I was going to say.
I'm a weirdo. I love it dark.
I like autumn, right? There's a lot to be said about autumn. What I don't like is living in the north of Scotland when it gets dark at like 1 in the afternoon.
I love that though.
I was in Turkey last year, and in Turkey, by all accounts, about 7 or 8 o'clock all year round it gets dark.
Fine.
Same as Australia. 7, 8 o'clock at night all year round.
Great.
I could live with that. I think I'd be okay with darkness at 7 at night rather than darkness at 2. I mean, by December, by the shortest day, it's genuinely about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
You get about 3 hours of daylight and that's it.
If you're really lucky, if the cloud breaks. So this weekend the clocs go back. Here in the UK, it's an hour back. In America, by the look of things, I think they're going back to like the 1700s right now.
To be honest with you, last week I made a belt out of Rolexes. Didn't work very well, so it's just a waste of time. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying about autumn, though, but you know what I love about autumn?
If you're going to tell me it's pumpkin spice lattes, I'm very disappointed.
No. I'm away to say that's when the best shit's on at the cinema. Because tomorrow night, there's a 40th anniversary re-release of A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
Yeah. So, they put on all these old Halloween films, and I went to see Smile 2 last night. I quite enjoyed it.
Did you smile?
There was 1 or 2 bits where it was a bit jumpy, but it is just...
I'm not good with horror films.
See, I quite like a good horror film. I like a good slasher. I like just... There's that Terrifier 3. I fancy that as well.
Is that the one that everyone uses the meme?
Yeah, the smiling clown. Yeah.
You see, I'm definitely on board with the whole idea that clowns are freaky. And
They are.
The last horror film I went to go and see was It.
Oh, God.
Come here.
Oh,
I wish I could quote...
Georgie.
Hey, Georgie.
Hey, Georgie.
Come see my balloons.
Would you like a balloon?
I mean, I think there's a fundamental bloody plot hole with that film. Anybody who emerges from the drain with a balloon should not be trusted.
True, but...
That's where that film should have stopped.
Try telling that to a 3-year-old. They trust everybody. These toddlers, much as I love kids and all that, toddlers are thick. That's just the truth, though, is it?
Yeah. That was genuinely the last horror film I went to see.
Don't stick your tongue in the toaster. What do? They stick their tongue in the toaster. I told you not to stick your tongue in the toaster.
How many times have people said to you, though, don't hit the big red button, and then you just go...
Yep, all the time. There's a big red button in front of my face here. Get your finger off the red button. I can see you doing that.
It's nowhere near it.
Bollocks. So yeah, back to clowns. When I'm saying that autumn has the best films out, unfortunately it was not the case with Joker 2, was it?
Oh my God, everyone is raving about how fucking abysmal that movie is. Does not hold the record as like the worst grossing movie ever. Like not just in its opening weekend, not just in its
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but certainly like for having such a good first film, should have been left on its own. He's become the clown prince of Gotham, and he has this massive following. That was the way the old film ended. Why is he now this nobody man in a mental asylum going to trial? It didn't make sense to me.
And apparently he likes karaoke. That's the other takeaway from this.
I will be honest, I can see what the director was trying to do. When he breaks into music, that's what's going on in his head, because he's so happy, he's in love, you know, that's what it is. But is it needed in a Joker film? No.
The thing I find really upsetting is like people were literally getting half an hour into the movie and going, fuck this, and walking out. I don't think anyone's done that in a film in my living memory. Not so many times. I was watching this opening weekend, I was watching the fallout on Twitter with everyone going, oh my god, this is fucking abysmal. I dodged a bullet because I've taken my pal to see a couple of movies this year, which we've had to go and pay for, obviously, and we walked out thinking, fucking hell, it'd been as well setting fire to that tenor. You know? Yeah,
but anyway, on the subject of that, Wid Yi.
Go and watch Joker 2, no.
Well, it is watch Joker 2, but watch this.
No.
Wid Yi, watch Joker 2 every day, back to back, 7 days a week for a whole month. You are allowed 1 hour sleep time a day.
Oh.
And for that, I will give you £8,000. Now think of it this way. You're being paid to watch a shit film back to back for £8,000. It's safe to say that's about 4 or 5 times what your average person earns in a month.
Yeah, easily.
So for that, you'll get 5 times what you earn, tax-free, might I add, just for watching a film back to back.
There's a fundamental flaw with this.
Go for it.
It's
Joker 2, is it?
Yeah, I mean, now, apart from that,
you
it's
would do
the fact
it if it was Joker 1, no problem.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah, but this is Joker 2.
My biggest issue with this is the fact that I'm only allowed an hour's sleep a day. I think people in Guantanamo Bay who've been getting waterboarded for 20 years have got a much easier gig. I have to watch a movie that people are like, yeah, no, I'd rather poke my eyeballs out than watch that shit again. I have to watch it for, 23 hours a day?
Yes.
And then try and sleep for the other hour?
Yeah.
And you're only going to give me £8,000?
But, yeah.
I appreciate it's a lot of money, but that is, wow. That is a form of mental torture.
But think it this way. For me to give you £8,000, that's a lot of money for me too.
Yes.
So I want my money's worth, because I am a sick, demented twat.
You want me to end up in the loony bin?
I want you to suffer. If you want this £8,000, I'm not giving you this £8,000 for going and drinking a glass of water. I want you to suffer for a month for the sake of this £8,000.
How far is your budget willing to stretch? Because I do feel like I need to say yes to more widgets, but wait. I can't.
To be honest, I can't. I'm unemployed. I ain't got £8,000, but this is just... so if you're saying, pay me more, I'm saying, well, no, I haven't got a fucking job, so it's not happening.
Would you be willing to crowdfund? I feel like I'm doing the Dragon's Den. Would you be willing to meet me halfway there, Dunk?
What if I got 2 dragons on board? Would you?
Would you split the equity? I'll tell you what, there's an idea, right? Forget the money.
What, go into Dragon's Den and say, right, for £8,000 of your money...
I'll do it for the money, but Duncan Bannatyne and Deborah Meaden have to watch... You know, they have to do, what we're talking, 23 hours. Let's just call it 7 hours each. I'll do it for 7 hours a day. Deborah can do it for 7 hours a day. Big Dunk can do it for 7 hours a day. And that's £8,000 to me. They don't need the money.
No. I was about to say, I can't offer them enough money to go fishing. You know what I mean? They're just minging with money. If I gave them £8,000, then they can just drop it on the ground because they'll have made $40,000 in that minute.
No, what I'm saying is they don't get any of the money. The money's all mine.
So why do they want to do this?
To help a friend.
Are you friendly with Duncan Bannatyne? Are you friendly with Duncan Bannatyne and Deborah Meaden?
We'll see at the end of the movie.
So would you do it?
I'll call them up.
Wid Yi.
So yeah, you're right, the clocks are going back, and you know something, it is getting colder. You know how I know it's getting colder?
Why is that?
Because it was so cold last night, Keir Starmer was seen with his hands in his own pockets.
Hey! Tight-fisted wanker.
How do you put your fists in your pockets? You put your hands in your pockets, but I can't get my fists in my pockets.
Never trust the Tory.
Is it? Well...
he's a red Tory.
What was the difference? They're both exactly the goddamn same, aren't they?
You know they're lying when their lips are moving. Did you see him in the papers this week trying to say that the definition of the working man is somebody who does not own stocks and shares?
No, I did not see this.
It's genuinely...
Did you see that?
Friday. He's like, I'm trying to work out how to define the working man, and because he's never met the working man, he has no fucking idea.
What the fuck?
He's like, genuinely, right? I'm pretty sure this is on like BBC News. He's trying to say that people who own stocks and shares are not working class people. So basically, if you own a share, I've got shares in Brewdog.
I've got a few shares in odds and sods, yeah.
They're like Monopoly shares. They're
worth
not worth
Mickey Mouse
fuck all.
Shares, you're right, but
for the sake of, I think I spunked £100 into Brewdog, right?
Right.
I get free beer on my birthday.
Is that a salty pale ale?
It's a salty pale. The thing is, you know how you were saying earlier, you've managed to hack the widgets to make things work.
Yes.
When it comes to the Brewdog birthday beer, you're meant to like show ID and go, it's my birthday, I get a free pint.
Yeah.
It's not unheard of for me to wander to every Brewdog in town Tell them it's my birthday and enjoy my free pint.
Well, yeah, I did that a few years ago when I lived in the town. Three free pints.
I'm not suggesting for a second anybody listening to the podcast tries that, but it definitely works.
Oh, it works. Oh, it definitely works.
Just don't tell Keir Starmer, because then you'll get taxed to shit for having shares in a company that just give you free beer.
And then you get Brewdog will get taxed because that's a taxable expense. Whatever it is, I don't know.
There's a thing doing the rounds on social media at the moment, and I want to say it's Elon Musk, and as much as I think he's an absolute cunt waffle, he does make a good point. You work your whole way through life, you're taxed on your earnings.
Yeah.
You pay tax on the pension that you're saving.
Yeah.
You then pay tax on the pension when you withdraw it.
Yeah.
You buy a house, you're taxed. You buy a car, you're taxed.
You buy anything, you're taxed.
To drive the car, you're taxed.
You don't get taxed to buy helicopters.
You don't get. We discovered this a few episodes back.
Caviar.
You don't get taxed on posh twat stuff like helicopters and caviar.
And boats.
But you pay tax your whole way through life.
Yeah.
What else can they tax us on?
Oh, they're bringing back inheritance tax now, aren't they?
Well, I think it's that they're lowering the threshold, isn't it?
Your parents die. You're very, very sad. We know you're very sad. We're going to tax you anyway.
I just don't get it.
Nah. But anyway, it's time for...
What's up, your widget?
And this time we've got one from Cameron Davidson from Dundee.
Who's obviously not as brave as Louise last week, because he's basically sent this in on the text.
Look, what's up as your widgets? Please put it in voice. You'll be on the show.
Now, Cameron's from Dundee. Maybe there's a technological problem because, they've not long got electric. Internet came about 5 months ago.
Well, you say that. Dundee. Oh, yeah. Oh, Dundee. They've only got the internet. Oh, they've only just got power. Well, they've got a lot more than we do up here. I'll tell you that right now. It's nicer down there now.
When we were growing up, it was Scotland's ass. It was the laughing joke of the country, and now Dundee is pretty cool.
Yeah, Dundee, I will put my hands up and say they've done very well. The front is looking a lot better than it was 20 years ago. The high street's looking good. Yeah, they've just kind of left Aberdeen in the shit. But do you remember Aberdeen Monopoly? The board game Aberdeen Monopoly, where there
was lots of empty squares, weren't there, where the shops used to be?
Yeah, well, that's this year's one. But 20 years ago, Mayfair was Marshall College, Old Kent Road was
Pittodrie,
Menzies Road in Torry, all that sort of thing. But instead of go to jail, it said go to Dundee.
God, it did, didn't it?
Do you not remember that?
I do now that you mention it.
Yeah.
How the tables have turned.
Aberdeen Monopoly. Now you've got Dundee Monopoly, and it just says go to Aberdeen. That's probably true. Probably
is right. Since Cameron chickened out of leaving a voice note, well, I do. Go do that again. Cameron, you're a... Shall I do it in a Dundonian accent? Right, I came around the circle, with a pay in my hand. And a pay in my hand as I came around the circle,
But before you read that, I was on a night out in Dundee years ago, and it was the night had come to finish. It was about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm in this sort of kebab chip shop. Whatever,
I thought you were going to say Clarkie's Bakery, because that's a 3 a.m. institution.
That, I can't remember the name of it. I was a bit pissed.
Yeah.
But the guy in front of me, I had no idea what he was saying, because I'm not that twigged up in the Dundonian accent at the time. But he asked for a meat pie and a ning-a-ning-a-na.
He wanted a meat pie and an onion one as well, my good man.
I know that now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I know? What I thought he meant back then?
That he wanted to fight you.
No. A ning-a-ning-a-na. Do-do-do-do-do. A ning-a-ning-a-na. Do-do-do-do. A ning-a-ning-a-na. Dundee!
Is that like a football chant? Right, I'll do this. Can you imagine people at Den's Bar? Right, I'll try and do...
he's just scored a goal. Right.
Can I do this in a Dundonian accent without going?
Can I be honest? See, in Aberdeen, we've got the Human League as our
and Eiffel 65.
And Eiffel 65. Dundee, can they please get that Muppets theme tune of a ning-a-ning-a-na?
Right, I'll do this before we get fucking sued. Alright, lads, I was coming around a circle, with a pay in my hand, and it was a ning-a-ning-a-na. Would you? Your balls removed and made into earrings for 1,000 rupees. Rupees?
Aye, Indian currency.
Yes. Right. Would you let me...
Cameron, what the fuck, man? Rupees?
He obviously wrote this in Clarkie's at 2 a.m.
Right. What is it? How many zeros are we talking here?
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18.
So is that a billion, majillion, bisquillion rupees?
Would you like me to translate this to see how wealthy you might be?
I think I'd maybe be only up about 200 quid by the sounds of things.
This is my worry, right? Hang on a second.
So if I get my balls cut off and turn them into earrings, and I have to wear said earrings...
It doesn't say you have to wear them. It just says they'll be turned into earrings. Right,
hang on, wait. If my balls are getting made into earrings, I at least want to have them on my ears. That way I'm a complete man again. In some way, shape or form. You know, fine, it's like cutting your thumb off and then duct taping it to your arm. But it's that sort of degree.
Right. Funnily enough, nobody has bothered asking how many rupees
What figure do you get with 15 zeros?
Hang on. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 zeros.
18. Well, Google that. How much is 18 zeros?
How much is 18 zeros in
numeracy?
A quintillion.
A quintillion.
So we're talking about a quintillion rupees.
A quintillion rupees. So what's the exchange rate?
Google's going to be able to...
What's the exchange rate for a quintillion rupees to today's money?
Which pawn shop are we asking?
Cash converters.
Right, hang on.
If they're still a thing, are they?
I can't even spell quintillion. A quintillion rupees... Oh, hang on. Someone has asked this. A quintillion rupees to pounds. Somebody has asked Google this before.
Cool. Is this when post office say we're on strike?
Yeah. Right, hang on.
Bureau de change on strike.
Revolut says I can exchange 1,000 rupees is £9.13.
Alright, so what we're talking about here is
£317.
Yeah, so when I cut my balls off for £317, make them into earrings and put them in my ears.
Would you?
No.
Thanks for listening. Would you do us a favour and check back again next week? And don't forget to find and like us on the socials. Wid Yi.